This is the biggest misperception about inflation and precious metals. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching Yankee Stacking. If gold and silver are such great inflation hedges, and inflation is going through the roof, why isn't the price of gold and silver going up a lot? I hear that a lot. I think the answer is that they're looking at the wrong indicator. And I'm going to give you what I think is the right indicator to be watching. But first, can I just celebrate a silver stacking milestone with you all? I am finishing off my silver Canadian maple leaf monster box. And my final tube comes from my very favorite online bullion dealer, SD Bullion. Earlier this year, I was super honored to have SD Bullion sponsor my channel. I couldn't have been more thrilled. I've always respected SD Bullion and the way Tyler Wall, the CEO, runs his organization. I remember talking with Mrs. Yankee right after my first interview with Tyler about the impression that he had made on me. I love SD Bullion's leadership. I love SDB's amazing prices, their fantastic customer service, their prompt delivery, and especially their generous giving to causes and charities that I can get behind. They are phenomenal. So it was SD Bullion that I wanted to provide me with the last tube, if you will, right here. Let me open this up. All right. Thank you for your support of SD Bullion. Great. I love that. John 3:16. Fantastic. They have a bunch of other stuff in here I'll take a look at. Love their mission statement. All right. Looking to sell? Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm only looking to buy. Let's take a look at these. I think they're 2022s. Yes, 2022 silver maples. Wow. This is part of the tier 1 silver that I love to stack. And again, SD Bullion knows how to really impress. I love dealing with them. And there it is, guys. Look, this is it. Done. This last tube of 2022 silver maples is the culmination of a lot of hard work and patience. I really took my time and waited for the spot price to be more favorable before finishing this box off. So if you're into buying your precious metals online and are looking for a company that you can trust, look no further than sdbullion.com. And if you haven't signed up for their amazing Silver Eagle Monster Box giveaway, do it now. I mean, I can't win it, but man, would I love to have someone in our community get those 500 ounces of silver. So sign up right now at sdbullion.com/Yankee. This also marks an end to stacking the higher premium silver maples for me, at least for a while. They're, again, still love it, okay? Their inherent recognizability, the trust of having sovereign silver is highly desirable, but I'm going to continue focusing on constitutional silver quarters and gold, okay? And gold. And speaking of gold, what is the right indicator when it comes to inflation and precious metals? Because it's not just inflation, all right? Or how bad inflation has gotten or how persistent it's going to be. It's more about the Federal Reserve's action in response to inflation. And that brings us to, again, the biggest misperception about inflation and how it affects markets. And I'm talking the stock market, the precious metals market, the real estate market, all markets. See, there's a lemming-like fixation on nominal interest rates instead of real interest rates. And simply put, The nominal interest rate is what you hear trumpeted all over the news. It's the headline number, right? It's the Fed raising interest rates by 0.75%. It's mortgages going up to 6%. Okay, these are the nominal rates, but they are not the biggest factor when it comes to the performance of gold and silver, or your stock market performance for that matter, or bonds. It's real interest rates, the rate of interest adjusted for inflation. So let's say the nominal rate on a 10-year treasury is 2%, and the rate of inflation is at 8%. The real rate is negative 6%. You're losing wealth over time in that scenario. And that scenario is with us right now. It's been with us for a while. It's going to be with us for a very long time. In fact, when you look at periods of time where the stock market has a nominal rise in price, you have to ask, how is it performing when adjusted for inflation? How is my 401k or 403b, KEO, whatever, doing in real terms? Between 1968 and 1992, the S&P 500 looked pretty good. Seems like, 24 years of some nice gains. 400%. However, what were those 24 years like in real terms? Horrible. You lost wealth. And adjusted for inflation, you would have had to wait those 24 years just to get back to where you started. I got a question for you. Starting today, could you last 24 years in the stock market under those circumstances? All right, what about more recently? 2000 to 2015, almost a 15-year period. Nominally, not bad, even with the Great Recession stuck in the middle. But again, with inflation factored in, not good at all with your investments. You again would have had to use all 15 years to recover your lost purchasing power in the S&P 500. So what does this mean for gold and silver? Well, check this chart out. The black line is nominal interest rates based on a one-year treasury. The red line is the Consumer Price Index, or CPI, or what I like to call the CPI. The important line here, the line that the masses seem to completely ignore, is the blue line of real interest rates. Again, CPI adjusted for inflation. These two areas were the periods of nasty negative real rates. How did gold specifically perform during these times? Gold went up tremendously back in the 70s. And by the way, real rates are even more deeply negative now than they were back then. Gold also rocked it from the 2000s to the present. And silver did phenomenally well during these periods too, in some cases even better. But silver's performance usually lagged gold. The bottom line here, people, is that we're not paying attention to what really matters. Real interest rates, at least not yet. Right now, everybody is so distracted by the latest 0.75% increase in nominal rates, and stackers are complaining that precious metals aren't responding to inflation. Yeah, that's true. But in my opinion, this is going to change, and change hard, for gold and silver. Remember, guys, the Fed gets it wrong about inflation every time. And that isn't going to change this time either. In my opinion, real interest rates are going to decline. And eventually, the markets are going to wake up to this inflation misperception about gold and silver. And instead of selling their precious metals, investors, especially institutional investors, will start accumulating gold and silver hand over fist. In my opinion, it's a when event, not an if event. And that is why I'm still accumulating silver and gold. Again, this is the end of this Monster Box. really not going to focus on silver maples much at all. I mean, if I get a great deal from maybe a private sale, I'll scarf some up, but I'm done stacking this stuff. But this is a great time to be a contrarian. Buy silver. Don't sell it now. I urge you to continue building your stack appropriately, within your means, to prepare for the economic hurricane coming. Well, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell if you haven't already, please. That will let you know when the next video is dropping. And as always, I hope your day is A-OK.